Welcome back to another Dinner Party podcast. I'm Lindsay Jagger.
And I'm Keith Williams.
On today's episode, we've got how to handle your liquor, normalize stealing, road rage, Italian crackdown, and Tuah.
Dang. That's awesome. So I already forgot. What's first on the list?
On our list today, well, you know what's always first on our list. Keith, what you drinking?
Sparkling ice, lemon lime flavor, aka Sprite.
The top flavor.
It's my favorite. It's my top flavor.
One day we're gonna have to figure out what their top selling flavor is.
I can find out actually. I don't think it's lemon lime.
It should be. Let's make a run for it. We'll promote it.
I am on the lemon lime train. Other people seem to not be.
It's a diverse flavor. You can add it to so much.
Yeah, it's great.
We've used it in a few of the I guess not mocktails, cocktails.
Cocktails, yeah.
All right, on to our first headline of the day. I said, how to handle your liquor. So I was reading a great article on food and wine by Lucy Simon, and she did a breakdown of how to keep your liquor. So if you are a beer or wine drinker, you already know that things can get skunked. They go bad, whatnot. But a lot of people feel like you can just have liquor on your bar cart forever. And I would say to a degree that is true, but I thought it was so nice. She broke it down and I took some notes on like the obvious ones that I think we all probably have in our home. The first one on her list was vodka. So vodka, take a guess. How long do you think you can keep vodka?
Well, if the Russians made it, forever.
That would be correct. You will literally never, ever, like your vodka will never go bad. However, this is what I thought was kind of bougie, a little interesting, because I think a lot of people keep their vodka in a freezer, and
We do.
yeah, so popular choice, and you should store it like that. That's a great way to store it. It can also be out on your bar cart if you kind of frequently visit your vodka. However, she did say that if you keep it in the freezer, let it sit out for 30 minutes before pouring, because it helps kind of bring the flavor back. Like the way obviously it's designed, whatever notes, you want to make sure that it kind of finds that window of like peak taste, I'll say.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you have like a drink you put in the freezer because it's like not cold yet and you want to cool it down and you forgot that you put it in there and now
Right.
it's frozen and then it tastes different.
Exactly. So that's basically what happens
Yeah.
to the vodka. So it's obviously not that it would taste bad per se, but you're not getting the full, all the notes, all the flavor. The next one, whiskey. Basically, whiskey could also last forever. I think when I think of really old whiskey, I do think of it getting cloudy. Apparently, you can actually still drink that. It means that it probably wasn't sealed properly, but it won't hurt you. She mentions that if it is properly sealed, it can last kind of forever. If you've opened it, you should probably have it gone between 1 and 2 years. Not that you couldn't continue to keep it, but that peak range, again, of flavor, basically you get 1 to 2 years before that whiskey starts to taste different, which I thought was really interesting because she really focused on making sure you're getting the true flavor, like I guess I'll say manufacturer or the distiller wants you to taste out
Yeah.
of whatever you've purchased. So you get 1 to 2 years after opening your bottle of whiskey. And I think that would also then apply to bourbon.
Yeah, I do watch a YouTube channel, the bourbon channel, SLB Drinks. They're also based here in Indiana.
Love it.
There's a thing called, I've learned so much from watching this, the neck pour. So like if you just open up a brand new bottle, they claim that the first pour that's in the neck tastes different. Also, if you let it...
Did they say why? That's so interesting.
I'm not sure. Maybe it's because of the air in the
Oh,
bottle.
sure.
Also, if you open up a bottle just to like let it sit for maybe 30 minutes,
Mhm.
45 minutes to like let it breathe. And then after you pour it like for the first time, or not even the first time, just some people will like pour a glass
Mhm.
and let it sit there for like 20 minutes before they drink it.
I think that's really a great point because it makes me wonder too if why you can only keep it open 1 to 2 years. It's probably just the like amount of oxygen it's getting and what's
Yeah.
eventually breaking down that flavor. The other kind of standout I thought everyone would have is tequila. And this one seemed obvious, but I thought it was really interesting. She said tequila should be kept in room temperature settings away from the light, and you should consume it within a year of opening.
It's the vampire of the spirits.
It really is. Keep that in the dark.
Yeah.
I mean, vodka's in your freezer. That's like a frozen tundra vampire, I guess.
That's how they stored it up there.
Yeah, those are those Russian vampires versus your Mexican vampire that just needs to be out of the sun. But you get way less time. Now on tequila, she didn't mention whether that was again a flavor kind of peak or if it is skunked, so to speak, afterwards. So I don't know. I feel like you can probably keep it. There's also a huge difference in Blanco to like Añejo or Reposado. So you should be careful on the Blanco basically because it is younger. So.
Oh, okay. I believe we do have like a 6-year-old bottle of Añejo open in there.
I think because that's aged, you kind of get more. I think if it's aged, you get more time. Because she had mentioned that also going back to the whiskey too. If you buy like a 40-year aged barrel, it's like you don't have to drink it right away, right? But like the longer it ages doesn't necessarily mean you're like letting it taste better. It actually can pass the peak and then it tastes different.
Yeah, actually that channel, they did buy, I think it was probably 30 to 50 years old, the bottle was.
Sure.
Unopened. Mm-hmm. Even though it was unopened, there was barely any left in the bottle.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know if it wasn't sealed properly back then or what, but yeah, it was almost gone.
Crazy.
As a brand new bottle, just empty.
It's interesting to see some of the old bottles. I'm assuming that with modern technology, we've probably gotten better at kind of airtight concealing things, but there are some really like ancient bottles of whiskey out there, some really old bottles of wine. And I don't know how you can tell if it's properly sealed, but if it is, it's like you have a gold mine on your hand. If not, then you just have nasty old liquor that you shouldn't drink.
Yeah, and I think it's weird too. You know, all this time we're still just using cork to seal our bottles.
Yeah, like nothing's gotten better.
Yeah.
Although, you know what? Cork's like a natural substance, right? Like at least we didn't replace it with plastic because I bet plastic would change the flavor. Like we say that with water, that plastic kind of changes the flavor of water even. So I wonder what material we would have invented that could even change.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I think there's some properties to cork that is good for it. I don't know too much about cork.
I can't say that I'm a cork expertise.
Yeah,
a cork-tesian.
But
we both came up with, I'm really proud of us in that moment. We came up with multiple words.
Oh, that's one of my favorite things to do is just make up words.
You know, you and Shakespeare. Oh, he made up like half of the English language we use. Do you know he made up the name Jessica?
I did not.
You're just like walking around. All of a sudden you end up with a bunch of Jessicas in like 1400s. I don't know when he lived. I have no idea when he lived.
Is that a true story?
That's a true story.
I'm married to Jessica.
Yeah.
I have Shakespeare to thank for that.
Yeah, you do.
I could have been calling her,
Mabel.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank God he came up with some hotter names.
Go William.
Good old Bill.
Yeah.
Billy Shakespeare coming up with better girl names. You know, there are so many rumors about that man, but we can thank him for some stuff. But anyway, so I think super helpful. Someone should, if you find interest in kind of reviewing your own liquor cabinet, go back to foodandwine.com, look up Lucy Simon. She's got a lot of great articles, but that one was particularly helpful and interesting, I think, because she went on to talk about gin, rum, I think vermouth. She had a few tricks up her sleeve for just about anything on your bar cart.
That's cool. I didn't know about all those things. I never really thought about it, I guess.
I think so many times we assume liquor lasts forever.
Yeah,
and at some point, you start to get like a weird vibe. You're like, maybe I'll throw this out now.
I mean, the only two obvious things would be like beer and wine. Like if the wine's already been open, obviously. If it's still closed, yeah, sure, whatever. But open wine, open beer, or even just canned beer that's old. I'm not drinking that either. Yeah,
like those are so easy. Like I said, you just get a vibe at some point that you're like, this has been around a minute, so I'll get rid of it. But when it comes to liquor, I think we keep it a lot. But it's also interesting to know that you can't just sit on it forever and think it's getting better tasting with age. It's not. It's been aged. You should drink that.
I better start drinking up.
Get a drink.
See, That's the rule around here. You got to finish a bottle before you can get another one.
Well, based off this, I feel like you should, because once you open it, the clock starts ticking.
Yeah.
So get to work.
Got some work to do.
Work.
Homework.
Work. Up next this isn't a headline, but it's something that we've had many conversations over, and I finally want to take it to the airwaves. What do you steal? Now, I'm going to out your wife because I happen to know that she has a pouch in her purse at all times of stevia, sugar, Splenda. There we go.
She got a problem.
But is it a problem? It's like literally the thing that's on a table that's free, because I'm gonna out my mom, who is a listener. So love you, Mom, but sorry. When I was growing up, like we had salt and pepper shakers that she definitely swiped from a restaurant. And I think this was like more of a thing back in like the 70s. But like I think my mom had full silverware sets from restaurants. She had some cups and things. It was perhaps just more normal. I'm going to pretend like it was normal because my mom's not a thief, but she'd be out there stealing.
Now, question about the salt and pepper shakers.
Yeah.
Were they the ones I'm thinking about, like at a diner with the grooves up and down?
Can't recall. Cannot recall myself. I do think there was like, they weren't like a fun shape. It's not like she stole like fish.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? They have like the grooves.
Of course,
all
everybody
around.
knows exactly
They're
what
like
you're talking about.
Concave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. They probably were those. I can't recall. Like my earliest memories are very much of a salt and pepper shaker that we bought from like JCPenney or something, or Macy's back when they had a home store, like one of those home stores. But I know that we had things that she definitely just swiped. Like we've had this conversation at a dinner table of people used to just take glasses or things home. I don't know if things just got expensive and, you know, restaurants got stingy and you can't steal things anymore. I've also never thought to take things off a table because a lot of them are gross.
I think.
But wait.
Oh.
I just thought of one more thing.
Okay.
Also, hotel towels. Like I definitely as a child took hotel towels. I don't know why I did that.
That's a no-go.
I don't know. You can wash it at home.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know why, but I definitely took some like hotel towels home, like beach towels.
1,000 people use
home.
those.
I don't know.
There's not enough bleach in the world.
I was like.
I mean, you do it all the time.
I was under 10, so I don't know. I think I just liked a towel and I was like, this one's coming home.
I mean, I'm sure it's fine. At a certain point, they get old and you have to get new ones. The hotels.
I can't say that I even used it when I went home outside of like after running around in the sprinkler or something. Like they were like pool towels.
That's the towel you take to the beach in case of shark attacks.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes, it is your shark attack towel.
Yeah, that makes sense now.
Now we know how to pack. Bring a cooler for any appendages you lose. Bring hotel towels to stop the bleeding and something elastic to tie around said appendage. And maybe some Neosporin. Just feels like you always need that, right?
Yeah, you got to make sure that wound's going to heal.
Absolutely.
I mean, even though half your calf is gone, you want to heal it.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't want a scar either. So.
Right. That'll help.
Yeah. Maybe bring the like spray Neosporin.
You don't want to rub it on there. That would hurt.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So.
For sure. And you don't want to contaminate. You got to keep things clean.
That's true.
Yeah.
Get sand in it and everything.
Yeah. So bring some water too. Throw that in the cooler so you can wash it off. A little bottle or something.
I don't really steal anything. I do remember as a kid, we were at the mall and we were in a candy store.
You steal candy?
And I just like had a piece. And I was like, what are you doing? You can't do that. And I was like, well, I don't know if I want it. I don't know if it tastes good or not. I have to try it.
I always used to eat grapes at the store, which I now realize is probably kind of a type of theft. But yeah, I used to be like, I have to find the right flavor, right? Like, do I want green ones that are sour? Do I want purple ones that aren't? And like, I would go through and I would try and find the best grapes, which now just looking back might be stealing.
Back in the day, that probably was stealing, but now they have the little scale things where you can print off your own little label.
Yeah.
So if you eat them post label,
right, you can still pay for it.
Then you can still pay for the. Have you had the cotton candy grapes?
Those are so good.
Oh yeah.
Who invented that?
Oh no,
those are ridiculous.
They're so good.
So good.
The best.
If we had fans, if we get fans one day, I want them to send us cotton candy grapes.
Oh, that's very specific.
Yeah.
Just cotton candy grapes.
Yeah, that's fine. We're a dinner party podcast.
In the mail.
Fruit gets shipped all the time. What are you talking about?
I guess that's true. That's how it gets here from.
Yeah, like, do you really think we grow oranges in Indiana? No, of course not. Don't be ridiculous.
But at least a professional's packing them. Professional fruit packer.
Listen, I'm a girl who stole a hotel towel. I don't know.
Yeah, you're eating fruit that just comes in a tin can.
Whatever.
Old coffee can.
But people used to steal, I feel like people used to steal hotel robes because now they tell you that they'll just charge you if you take it.
Oh, yeah.
So that was obviously quite popular. I don't think that's a whole lot different than a hotel towel.
It's like the episode of Friends when Ross is trying to steal everything. Have you seen, you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know if I know that one. It's not coming to mind.
He takes like everything in there. He even tries to I think he takes like the fake apples.
Do you think there was ever a time where the mini fridge was free?
Ooh.
Because now, obviously, if you take anything out of a mini fridge, it automatically charges to your room. Like it knows. I know one time I opened it because I was just trying to put something in the fridge. And I was so nervous to knock something and end up with that $5 charge for a 3-ounce bottle of vodka. That's just, it's Sky. So how dare you, first off. But second off, I'm also just, I envision all of them going out like a pop can when you open a box or whatever, and they just all fall out. That's what I envision if I touch it.
Well, I mean, at least you could take it home because it lasts forever if you wanted to save the Sky for somebody
True,
else.
as long as I don't open it.
Or you know what? It could go in the cooler for the beach. You pour it out on your wound.
That also is a cleaner.
Yeah. There you go.
Vodka really is the workhorse of liquor. It does many things.
Versatile. I don't think it was invented for that. I think it was just to be invented to,
just potato water.
To drink it.
I think the invention of vodka was to help Russians forget that they were in Russia.
And it's cold. It's
and
just
miserable.
to warm them up. It was a warming method.
That's why, bears never performed in circuses. That was all an illusion, a vodka illusion.
Yeah, they thought that was...
Right. Those dolls that sit inside each other. No, those are fake. That's just another vodka illusion.
Or they thought of it while drinking the vodka.
One too many shots and you start seeing a few things.
Yeah. Look at all those dolls. No, dude, that's just, there's only one.
There's one doll. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But you never stole anything. You can tell me. Just whisper it into the microphone really clearly.
I was a good boy.
I'm disappointed.
Straight line. Straight edge, not straight line. What is it called?
Straight edge.
Yeah.
Yeah. But those people, aren't those also Nazis? Aren't straight edge people a little creepy?
Oh.
Or no?
I hope not.
I don't know. We'll just say that you were a good kid. How about that?
Yeah. Good kid.
Well, I'm disappointed. To be fair, I think I stole many things, but didn't really recognize what I was doing.
Well, I didn't know I was when I had the candy.
I had to learn what stealing was. And then once I learned, I realized that I was a stealer.
You're a thief.
I was. I learned that I was a thief the day I learned what stealing really was. I also stole something from a store once that I still to this day don't know what it was. I just got enamored with it while I was sitting in the cart. And it was and the checkout aisles always have all the things you can grab, candies and whatnot.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I grabbed, but I just really liked it. And I just kept it. And I got wheeled out of that store with whatever the heck that thing was.
Yeah, that was back. That was back, what, I'm guessing the 90s.
Yeah.
Then nobody cared back then.
Yeah, we had so much surplus that you could just take whatever. We could pour gas wherever, in your car, outside of your car.
Yeah,
it didn't matter.
So
it was 80 cents.
Yeah, who cares?
Nobody cared.
Environment?
Eat all those
What's the
grapes,
environment?
grabs. The environment. Run your lawnmower whenever you want while you've got your car in idle in the driveway because you're listening to the radio. You can do it all. The 90s were a wild time. It was the last time we were truly free.
It was truly the Wild West.
Yeah. Seatbelts. You don't need no stinking seatbelt.
No.
That's for losers. Don't wear a seatbelt. Crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Seatbelts.
All right. On to the next headline. This one is a true one. An Italian investigator revealed recently that Dior and Armani paid contractors as low as $57 to sell their $1,000 bags. So Dior specifically, they didn't name the bag, but they said that Dior spent $57 creating a nearly $3,000 bag, while Armani paid $99, and it retailed for around $1,900. The investigator reported that they had slave-like conditions in the like area where these bags were being designed. And when they looked at kind of energy consumption, they could confirm that the workers were working around the clock and even working on holiday. This comes as people investigate the parent company, LVMH.
It doesn't surprise me one bit that that's all that it costs to make those.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing
It's
special
leather.
about them.
It's leather and it's not handmade anymore. It's like, I mean, I guess to a degree it must be handmade if they have all these workers there, but they're probably on machines. I would guess they're not putting it together.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm not a handbag guy.
But you could be a Merce guy.
A Merce, yeah.
Yeah. If
I
they
needed to.
actually costed like $90, I think we could get you to a Merce. Cost also.
Well, see, I just couldn't do it. It's just it doesn't make sense to me.
Would you ever be a mailbag guy?
A mailbag?
Like the old school like
Oh,
not quite a duffel bag. It's lesser than a duffel bag.
like a laptop bag kind of thing?
Sure.
Yeah.
But
If I needed to, I would do that.
that's kind of.
I've done it before.
My favorite thing. Now, I do have some very nice purses because I am female and I feel like I collect them, whether I want to or not. I actually was firmly anti-purse through like high school. I hated carrying purses. And now just I think through honestly most people just giving them to me as gifts, I have a decent collection. But my favorite bag that I've ever had was a knockoff Louis Vuitton. People who know it, it's just called a carry-all bag. So it's just a giant tote bag. I literally went to like one of those little pop-up stands where you can buy tourist gifts,
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, do you have a Louis? And the guy was like, shh, like, he like made all the sounds to make me silence. And then he handed me a menu and I like pointed to the one I want. And then he had me go around the corner to a subway staircase. And on the like second platform, I met another man who had like two options of the bag. And then I haggled him down to $50. So knowing that they pay $57 to create the real thing, I feel like I got a steal because it was definitely just like a defect from whatever, where it's like, it's leather and it's like got all the things, but this is wrong here. And it was like loose here, whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like I got a steal. I was like, look at me. Because I always thought maybe I got had, like it's a fake bag and I paid $50. I think I did well.
That's good. Yeah. I mean, I kind of do the same thing with disc golf discs.
Okay.
They're called factory seconds. They're just defects with the,
yeah.
There's nothing wrong with the disc itself.
Right. Like they couldn't, whatever the quality check is, it didn't pass.
Yeah.
But they have it to resell.
And it's only like $9 or whatever instead of.
Now, I also could be lying to myself. Perhaps it wasn't like a defect one and it was totally a pleather knockoff, in which case they took all of like $10 to make that and I spent $50, but I didn't spend $5,000 on a $57 bag. So,
but it made you feel good.
It did make me feel good. I felt very like Lewis and Clark about it. I feel like I went where no man had gone before. And
it was an adventure.
It was an adventure.
Yeah.
I made some new friends. I learned what a black market is, and who knew they come with Denny's menus. I always thought the black market would be like scary. It's not at all. It's a very friendly Haitian man in a subway alley.
That's not what I thought it was going to be. But, something similar sort of happened to my wife. She was looking for one of those knockoff purses.
As one does in New York.
Yeah. And
listen, there are the people that are the I Heart NY t-shirt people.
Yeah.
And then there are those of us that are, I'm going to get a really good fake design or something people.
Yeah.
Those are your two New York tourists.
I remember we walked into some store. I don't even remember. It was like a shoe store or something maybe. And I wasn't paying attention. I like looked somewhere else and she's just gone. So I'm like texting her. I'm like, where did you go? Turns out there was like this fake, like a secret door that looked like it was just like a wall of shoes and you could open it and go in the back.
That's amazing.
And that's where they had all the purses.
They had a panic room that they filled with purses. That one's probably more legit, honestly. If you have a secret room, I bet that one is where the defects lay. Yeah, I probably got pleather. She probably got real.
It was crazy. I was like, what happened? Did you just get stolen?
Did panic set in when you like watch your wife disappear behind a wall that looks like it wouldn't be a wall?
Like, okay, she's going to get murdered in there. We're going to,
You're like filling out the police report in your head. I feel like that's part of what makes New York cool, though, is all of the places that turn into other places. There's like a pizza place in off Wall Street that had like a club in the back. It's like at some point you can go through
It's like
another wall that opens or something. It like goes down into the basement. And yeah, it's like, it's a whole club. But you would never know that. It looks like a tiny pizza parlor.
It's a speakeasy of purse knockoffs. That's the password. Purse?
Purse? I have purse.
And then you get admission.
I mean, I love it because honestly, like everything comes in and out of style. And it's not that if you love something, get it. Like if it is just your style, whether it's in or out, go get it. I think there can be merit to buying really nice things. Like they last longer, right? Quality material. There's a lot to be said about that. But also when you know something is just a style and you know that this is not going the distance, then buy the knockoff. Like don't spend the money on the real thing when you know it's going to sit in your closet or whatever. Like if it's just not even going to be something you want to wear, if it's, you know, just kind of the moment.
That is kind of satisfying though, when you actually do buy something that's name brand that, you know, costs a lot. You can usually just like feel the quality difference.
Yeah.
In things, which doesn't always happen, but whenever it does, it's a nice feeling. It's like, oh, this is why
it costs that.
Yeah, because it's nice.
I think that's what breaks my heart here is because the reality is you can take the best quality material and still make something for $57. Like the markup is just the world we live in. The markup is paying for the rent of the store and the employees and the electric bill and whatever costs the, you know, bigger guy at top takes, right? Like, it's just wild. I mean, because you can buy like handmade leather goods here in Indiana for much cheaper. It's just not going to say Dior on it.
And that's fine with me. But other people may want it to say that.
No, I mean, I guess that's also like the power of marketing is you get to charge more.
And, you know, to each their own.
For sure.
Not everybody's going to like the same thing.
It will be interesting to see if there's any fallout in this because other than the terrible conditions in which the workers are working in, which I don't know what China's laws are and what they allow. It feels like they allow just anything. I think if vodka is the workhorse of your liquor cabinet, China is the workhorse of the workforce field globally. So it'll be interesting to see if anything comes from this, but it is honestly like just like had me aghast. I think that's the word I will use. Like the difference in price of what they can spend to make versus what they charge.
Aghast. You must have remembered the thesaurus.
I sure did. Merriam-Webster, I want my sponsorship deal. Nice. Come on. I'm ready. Okay, up next, road rage. It's been a headline, I think, in many states because it is a national problem. But here in Indiana, our Indiana State Patrol reported that we have had 40 road rage incidents thus far into 2024. As a reminder, we are just past the halfway mark at the start of July. So that led me to look up a few more stats because I think this is so interesting. But from 2014, there were 92 incidences of road rage that ended up in shootings. To 2023, there were 481 road rage incidents that ended up in shootings. That's a 400% increase, in case anyone wondered. And in 2022, the number of people shot and killed in road rage incidences occurred every 16 hours in 2022. Now, I also saw that same statistic where it said 17 hours, but either way, 16 or 17 hours, that's a lot of road rage shootings.
Yeah, what is going on with people?
Honestly, when I read the Indianapolis statistic of 40 road rage incidents, I thought it's because of all of our road work. Like people are frustrated because they can't get anywhere. If one more road shuts down, I live north of Indianapolis and I work downtown. If one more road shuts down, I don't think I can get to work. Like I just don't think it will be possible.
That's crazy.
I will have to be remote.
I don't drive that much anymore, but yeah, it does seem like the main roads that everybody takes around here are just under construction all the time.
Yeah, like left, right, and center. Indianapolis has a main highway, I would say, that circles the city, and they have been closing down portions of it because we are going through a widening, which will be amazing when it's done. But in the meantime, it's just soul crushing. And then there's also just a lot of construction of new buildings, which closes other roads downtown and additional construction other places. It's just been wild. But I can't speak for the whole of the US. It seems insane that we've had a 400% increase of road rage incidents that literally lead to like shootings. That's insane.
It's like people just go straight for their gun nowadays. Instead of just like in the old days, people would just yell
run
at
you
each
off the
other
road.
or yeah.
Flip the bird.
I guess I think just yesterday or the day before, and there was another one with a shooting. This dude got brake checked on the road we're talking about, and he shot at him.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That just can't be your first
No.
go-to.
And it is now.
When I lived in Los Angeles, this was probably 2020, there was a woman that ended up in a road rage incident with two guys. She had her kids in the back seat. Those two guys opened fire on her, and unfortunately a bullet went through the back door and found her son. Her son passed away. He was 5.
Wow.
And I mean, those men should not have answered whatever was happening. Also, like, let me back up and remind everyone, I'm in LA. How did you have road rage in LA? It doesn't move. The 405 doesn't move. It's very easy to drive on the 405 because it's bumper to bumper traffic. So how they ended up in this situation, I have no idea. They obviously shouldn't, especially California has stricter gun laws, probably shouldn't have even had that gun. I'm sure it was obtained illegally or had some illegal stance to it. But then also as a mother or a parent with children in the car, what are you thinking? What are you doing? Like you put your child's life at risk with potentially harmful driving of some kind. And, it got beyond worse, beyond imaginably worse.
I mean, anytime somebody names a highway in California, like when you just said the 405, I immediately think of the Californians SNL skit.
Sure, of course.
Have you seen that?
Everyone has.
Oh yeah, it's where they just give directions and just
get off at Mulholland and go back to where you came from. Yeah,
that's all that reminds me of every time.
Once upon a time, I could take that exit, and every time I took that exit, I thought of that skit as I went home. I was like, I'm back to where I came from.
Yeah. So that's my road rage.
That would have been a really good skit, honestly, for SNL, for the Californians, was to do a road rage.
Oh, yeah.
In that situation. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, because they would have done it in their little surfer dude accent.
Yeah.
And everybody would have been laughing.
My favorite thing about that skit is Californians loved it, right? Like they love that, like, and I get it when people make fun of you. But what Californians don't get is that the rest of America, like the stereotype for a Californian is that they're dumb. And Californians don't get that. They didn't actually understand that part of that skit is making fun of the fact that everybody thinks they're dumb. And I thought that made it even better. That I was like, oh no, none of you are in on the joke.
One of those inside jokes.
It was an inside outside joke. I was like, oh, you don't, like, that was like news to them. I was like, well, everybody thinks Californians are dumb. Sorry. That's why. It was a joke that kept on giving in a way. But either way, it's, I don't know, just the 400% increase was staggering. That's insane. But I would love to know what is leading people to just have more rage on the road. Like, I would love to know the difference too between 2014 to 2019 and then like post-COVID, because we obviously all kind of didn't drive for a bit and then everyone took to the roads because you couldn't really fly. And so I just want to know if that peaked it or what the background there was.
Yeah, I don't have a good conspiracy or thought about that. It's just,
yeah, I mean, there's
times have changed, I think. People are not as friendly maybe as they used to be.
When like cars were kind of in their infancy but booming and like a hubcap would have a spike on it.
Yeah.
I want to know if there was more road rage then, because people are like, this car's like a tank. I can just like ram it into you. Like Grease. You remember the movie Grease, and they had like a little like spool that stuck out and like ripped a car door. It like knifes the other car. It's amazing. YouTube that. You YouTube everything. You can
I do.
YouTube the drag racing scene from Grease for me. Danny Zuko wins, not to like burst your bubble.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry for any. If you haven't, that movie came out in the 70s. So like if you haven't seen it by now, I don't think that's considered a spoiler.
It's my fault.
Now I'm just educating you. At what level does it stop being a spoiler? Like where it's like, this movie has been out enough years. Like if I tell you the ending to Titanic right now, you just haven't seen Titanic. I'm not spoiling anything for you.
Or you've never heard of the Titanic.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, especially that one. Like, so it sinks. Did you know that?
I did know that.
Yeah. It goes down. There are some survivors. And that's what this whole shindig's like kind of like hangs on, is the some survivors. Also, icebergs are involved. Crazy.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about the spoiler. Maybe is a year too long?
I feel like a year is kind of long now because most movies end up on a streaming service. So I'm like, it was in theaters. Like Barbie and
6
Oppenheimer were
months.
probably like the best or the biggest successes we've seen in a while, right?
Yeah.
So they were in theaters 6 months.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I thought you were telling me that.
No, I'm saying like that should maybe that's
yeah.
the
Yeah, maybe. Like I would take whatever they were in theater for and then like plus like 2 more months or something to watch at home.
Yeah. Because actually, we thought about going to the movies the other day, and we looked, and I was like, "There's nothing good out."
I can name a movie right now that I want to go see.
What?
Inside Out 2.
Oh yeah, we did see that. That was playing.
It looks so good. I love those little emotions. Amy Poehler.
Yeah,
she's
we
great.
talked about it on
Yeah.
your Disney.
I also love popcorn. Like I like snacks. I like the snacks at so we are so lucky in Indiana because I mean Orville Redenbacher is from Indiana, so obviously we have great popcorn here. But we also have a very nice mall that has a theater in it, and I will go buy myself popcorn and then go shopping.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm that person.
I feel like we've gone to the movie theater once, bought a bucket of popcorn, and left.
I honestly think that movie theaters need to figure that one out because I love the snacks. I think they have great soda options. They have slushy options. They have pretzels. They have like all those foods that you want. And I think most of the time you can just go in and buy that without a ticket.
Yeah,
But they
you
need to promote that. I think if we want to really save movie theaters, we need to up the like just go hang out and get some like snacks and do something. Because the popcorn is still bar none. I don't care. I have a popcorn machine at home. It still doesn't taste like movie theater. Like it's just not as good.
No, it's not.
That stuff is crack.
Well, that was the other reason we didn't go either, because we had just ate. So we're like, well, we can't go to the movie theater now because now we can't have popcorn.
Oh, I treat it like a dessert. Like I'm like, I'll
Oh.
go eat dinner and then I'll go see a movie. And then I want my like popcorn and probably like red vines. Like I have to have like a sweet and popcorn and a soda. I'm expensive.
Let's
Don't
say
take me
it.
to the
Let's
movies.
say this is getting expensive.
That's like $50 easily
Yeah.
on like movie theater charging. Yeah. I'm an expensive movie date, but
Wow.
it's good. It's delicious.
They're already.
I'm a foodie. If no one can tell this, if this is the first time you are tuning into this podcast, I eat a lot, and the movie theater is no different for me.
I think a lot of the snacks there though that they have is like high school basketball food.
Also, great
Yeah.
options. I'm gonna buy those really sour straw. Are they just called sour straws?
I remember
don't know.
those. Those things are so
Huh.
good.
Speaking of, because you had blue raspberry sparkling ice last time, those sour straws, sour punch straws, that's what they
Sour
are.
punch,
There we
yes.
go. That blue raspberry is also superior flavor.
Yeah, I loved the high school. Like they had the good, just plain nachos, just the nachos with the cheese that comes out of the tube.
The like black can.
Yeah,
cheese.
it's like a button that comes out warm. It's so good.
Yeah.
And yeah, pretzels. The popcorn was good. I got a lot of good things to say about.
High school gymnasiums.
Yeah,
Yeah, they are delicatessens in their own right.
and maybe that's just because it's Indiana, and Indiana has these great
We
high
have
school basketball.
much better high school basketball gyms than others. I've never had a gymatorium. Have you?
A gymatorium?
Yeah, where it's like an auditorium and a gym all in one. There are a lot
Oh.
of schools that unfortunately have that situation.
Oh no.
And you just know that their snacks aren't as good.
No, we had a nice big basketball court, bleachers all around. I think it held like 3,000 to 5,000 people.
Yeah, my high school gym was like two-tiered. Like we had upstairs,
Yeah,
downstairs,
ours was
right?
two-tiered as well.
Yeah. There are some that are like straight up just like field houses. That's the only way to explain them. Like they're not just gyms. They are full on field houses.
Yeah, I mean ours was like that. We had
Yeah.
the scoreboard that hung over the middle.
Heck yeah.
I mean,
I would also have to say, like, where Friday Night Lights happens in Texas, right? And they do have amazing football fields. I mean, we have some great ones. I know my high school actually ended up in Sports Illustrated. So it's not that Indiana doesn't have good basketball fields, or football fields, but I would say Texas is obviously known for those high school football fields.
yeah.
But I would wonder then if Indiana isn't known for our basketball.
It's gotta be.
Yeah. But like that is our thing. We are that. That is us. It is a language of love here. And maybe we do have just like better basketball gyms and therefore better snacks.
I do remember reading an article like the top 10 biggest high school gyms, and Indiana had like over half of the biggest.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I actually went on a date once, and this guy, I think he coached volleyball, like high school volleyball. And I 100%, I was like, oh, I'll come watch. And I like bought myself some like Sour Punch straws and like a soda and popcorn. And I think the girls gave me a hard time. I was like, oh, your date like bought snacks and is out there. But I was like, I don't care. Like it's a high school gym. I'm not going to not buy candy and popcorn.
And
That's
it
crazy.
came in like the little paper tray.
That was the last date that we ever went on, just so you know.
First and last?
Yeah. Oh. Don't give me crap about buying snacks. I'm going to buy food. You're either in or you're out.
So wait, you didn't go on their date because you got Sour Punch?
No, because he gave me crap for buying snacks at the volleyball game.
What were you supposed to do?
I know. Am I supposed to sit there like a loser? Like just watch these like...
What if you would have bought...
And no offense to those girls, you weren't great. Sorry. I don't think any of them went on to be... Those are not Olympic athletes that I was watching.
No.
I deserved Sour Punch straws.
Yeah. So would it have been different if you bought like nachos or something? Or is it just snacks in general?
I think it might have just been funny for whatever reason that I bought snacks. I'm always going to buy snacks.
Something funny about that.
It was never meant to be. It was the key of knowing that it was not going to be meant to be.
Yeah. Because you bought snacks.
Because I bought snacks.
That's interesting.
Gives me road rage just thinking about it.
Yeah.
You know, too bad. Well, we have come to everyone's favorite portion of Keith Conversations. It is the nightcap hour.
Ooh.
Keith, what do you have for us? Can I just make the sound again?
Yes.
Tuah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that was just sensation. What was that? It's been like 2 weeks now.
Tuah girl.
Yeah.
Yes. You have to tell the story for anyone who hasn't found Tuah girl.
Oh, yeah. So there's this video. I think I saw it before. I saw it the day before it like went viral.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was like, oh, I saw this video. I can't do the accent.
She's got like that country twang.
Yeah.
I think they're in Nashville. Like she's
they're
out
in
with her
Nashville.
friend. They ask some kind of inappropriate question, I think.
Yeah.
Of like they're just interviewing people on the street.
Right.
I don't even know what channel started it. That's actually the amazing thing about this is that Tuah girl got popular, but that person's channel did not blow up.
Nobody knows what channel that was on
like
at all.
She really was a star. Asked an inappropriate question about men and
What makes them go wild or something.
Yes. And she said, you just got a Tuah and spit on that thing.
Yeah. And the way she said it made it like if anybody else or if the way you just said it, like it wouldn't have
caught. It would have been like, that's weird that you said that. But she has that like.
It was just the way she said it and her accent, I think, that made the whole thing.
Yeah.
And she was a sensation.
The internet lit up because it was hilarious. Like she was definitely intoxicated, but also just being funny. Like this person has a good sense of humor, you can tell.
Yeah, because I think it happened a couple of days because I went to Electric Forest.
Love it.
Up in Michigan. When you go to festivals like that, people carry around totems.
Yes.
So you can find your people in the crowd.
Very important.
And there was obviously some Tuah totems. And that had just happened. Like they just made that.
I love how quick society picks up things. I'm
crazy.
a big fan of people, early adapters. For anyone who's been forced to read Who Moved My Cheese, To me, that is an early adapter.
I was waiting for one of the DJs to like throw that into one of their songs, just like
100%.
that would have
Like,
been crazy.
I'm
But
looking for a man in finance trust
yeah,
fund.
I did.
6'5",
Somebody had
blue
that totem.
eyes.
They had a totem that said that too.
100%. I
Um,
do. But I think Tuah may be the better totem.
and then like all these lies came out about it.
I totally believed one.
I did too, because I told I was like sitting there reading, and I look over to my friends at Forest, and I was like, "Hey, she lost her job over that."
That's the exact lie that I believed, because I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? People get weird about things. Like, even though she wasn't at work, she didn't even talk about work. It's like when people make defamation, like they talk bad about like their employer or something.
Yeah.
Like, well, I can see why you got fired. Like, you shouldn't say you hate your job and on like national TV or something like that. But this was so separate, and they were like, she's a preschool teacher and the children look up to her. And I was like, do the children know how to say her name? Hitting all the consonants? I doubt it.
And that was the other thing too. The name wasn't even her name.
Yeah, I didn't know
article.
that, because I was like, well, talk to a girl. I don't know
Yeah.
her name.
And I think they said it was like Haley or something.
Do you think that was like a real thing that happened that got like attributed to her, or was it just a flat out lie?
I don't know. It was strange, because then there was another one that said that her dad was a preacher, and like her family was not happy about the whole, new popularity of what happened.
Right. Especially because it was like something sexual.
Yeah.
So.
And then she goes on that other podcast and is like, no, none of that's true.
Yeah, which honestly, I couldn't think of a better person to interview her than Brianna Chicken Fry. That's the girl who interviewed her. And she was like, yeah, so did you lose your job? And she was like, no, I work in a factory. Like, I am not a preschool teacher. My dad is the farthest thing from a pastor. Like, they thought it was hilarious, which also, like, yeah, I could see her being in a family where I don't know, to have that personality. I think you do, like, you were birthed with that. You got it from somewhere, because she honestly could probably be a comedian. She just seemed to have like really good delivery of that line.
Yeah, and that's the scary thing about online, like how quickly it is you can like spread misinformation.
Just like lies though. Like, again, like, was that like, did someone named Haley really lose her job for some reason, whatever? Or did someone just fabricate it? Because also, like, have I repeated gossip and taken part in gossip? Absolutely. I'm a human being. But not once have I ever just created a lie and spread it. Like, how would you do that? How did you think of that? To be like, you know what? She's probably a preschool. Like, how do I teach people a lesson to not do that? Oh, I know. I'll create this lie about her losing her job. She's a preschool teacher.
Yeah.
Like, kids look up to her. Like,
I mean, like,
she's also like 18. Like, she didn't look old enough to be a preschool teacher.
the only thing that I ever make up, you can tell that I'm just joking. Like, I'll make up something stupid that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but that's different too. Like, a joke, I think if somebody bought a joke, you could stop it. Like, you would stop it. Who are these people that just genuinely create total lies? And about someone else, I think we've all also lied. I think people lie, especially when it comes to themselves, whether it's to like keep themselves safe or because they felt stupid, or, like, there are a lot of reasons you can lie. I've definitely lied. Again, I've taken part in gossip. I've definitely lied, but I've never just fabricated a story and been like, oh yeah, that person, they murder people in their free time. They're the Grinch. They're Satan. They're whatever. Like, how do you do it? How do you decide what you're going to create and falsify?
Yeah, which I think makes it hard because you used to be like, oh well, some dude on the internet said it, so it's got to be true.
Yeah.
It's crazy how everybody believed all those things. Like, what are they believing?
Yeah.
During the election time when all that stuff's coming out.
That's a great point, because it is so easy to believe things that validate your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I think most people do that, but it's so important to be open to things that don't validate, that invalidate. That's the word. There's my thesaurus.
Yeah.
Invalidate your feelings. Like, that is how we learn. That is how we grow. And I even think that for myself. Like, I totally believed, I was like, wow, that sucks for her so bad. Like, that was my thought, is she shouldn't get fired for that. Like, it was just something funny. but I believed it. And
Yeah.
it makes me wonder, like, because I think I'm pretty good about catching stuff on the internet.
I
Even
think so,
like
too.
weird things where they're like, fun fact, Elvis was not buried at Graceland. He's buried on the moon. Like, I'm like, no, that's fake. Or like wives' tales that get like passed off as facts still or something like that. Like, I'm usually pretty good about catching anything outlandish or just those, yeah, like wives' tales. But I don't know. Now I'm like, well, what have I randomly believed and repeated, which is even
Exactly.
more embarrassing that I'm
Yeah.
like out here spreading
Well,
like,
here's one thing.
by the way, Tupac's still alive.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like whenever I saw that article or the podcast where she said none of that's true, I was like, oh no. Like,
I'm glad that went viral because that doesn't happen for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people have misinformation, and celebrities say this all the time where they're like, well, the lie took off, but the apology saying it was a lie never did.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, my first thought was, what if that article I read about Joey Chestnut having the Netflix thing, what if that was a lie too? Because it didn't happen on the 4th. I thought about this yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Which,
'Cause-
FYI, I feel like I need to plug it again. We're now his like
Yes.
biggest fans. Joey Chestnut versus Kobayashi, Netflix, September 2nd. And that is Labor Day.
Yes, it is.
Anyway, continue.
Joey Chestnut versus Fabio,
Oh, yeah.
head to head.
Love it.
It's going to be multi-event
Well,
hot dog eating contest.
you got to go ahead and invite Peyton Manning if you're inviting. And Jennifer Lopez, for whatever reason, you
Yeah,
constantly invite her.
We'll send the invite, whether she checks yes or no.
Right.
And
And Prince Charles. That's actually your other guy. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that would be we could do like some kind of competition. So if 4 people show up, there's 4 different competitions, and each competition is
Like eating competitions?
no. So
Oh.
each one will be different, all centered around that person. Like each person gets like a specific thing that they're good at.
So we make Prince Charles do an eating competition and like a football throw.
Yeah,
What's his thing? What do they all have to do for Prince Charles? If these are your people, like singing contest, I would guess for J-Lo. I don't know.
yeah,
Or like a big booty contest. I don't.
yeah.
I feel like
against
she's-
those 3 guys.
Yeah.
Or was it 4
She's
guys?
Got it on lockdown.
And then so there's a hot dog eating contest, football throwing accuracy.
Yep.
We're modeling,
Yep.
seeing who has the best pictures.
Yep.
Can you imagine Peyton Manning up there just like doing his modeling?
He might give J-Lo a run for her money.
You think
you
so?
Know? Like now that I think of it, I could see him having like a really good like smolder, like a blue steel moment.
I think, okay, here's another thing too. They all have to have long hair wigs.
For sure. Fabio's is real though.
Yeah. So
J-Lo's is definitely just extensions, but we'll count that as
so
real.
yeah, just Peyton and Prince Charles need to have extensions or
Peyton's
or
gonna look
wigs.
so good.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
And this is all coming on Netflix on September 2nd.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Everyone tune in because we are thrilled.
Yeah.
And Keith's the host.
Yeah. Prince Charles, I don't know what we're doing with that one.
I mean, I actually don't know what he does.
Sitting
Polo, actually.
Polo?
Don't royal people play polo?
Probably.
Okay, we're getting on horses.
I was gonna either that or like sitting in a chair.
I also thought I was like throne sitting.
Maybe do that.
He does have cancer, so that might be better than polo for him. Throne sitting.
Something he can win.
I actually think J-Lo could give him a run for money on throne sitting.
Throne sitting? Okay.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a cool little competition. That's a good idea for any TV show.
I think that Peyton Manning, I would like to see him do an eating contest. I don't know why, but I think he could actually throw down some stuff. Seems like an eater, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If anything, he's just somebody that's like highly competitive and would go for it for sure.
And I think that the modeling, like him throwing his hair back and forth and stuff, would just be golden.
Yeah, I think he can do that. I think he can do most things.
I'm excited about it.
I can't wait for this new Netflix special. Yeah, now we just wait, right? Is this how this goes?
It's going to be on after the Joey Chestnut Kobayashi.
Perfect.
It should be on right after that.
I'm really excited for you.
Yeah, it's been a lot of planning, a lot of hard work behind the scenes to get it to come together.
Not to mention we just threw in some people right now.
Yeah.
But the filming's done, so it doesn't matter. It's all
right.
good.
We just made up these events, but yeah, the filming's already done.
We're in the editing process.
Yeah, we'll probably just like plug it into AI
and it'll happen.
See, that's the other thing
Boom,
too.
done and dusted.
What's real and what's not?
Yeah, the
With
amount
AI
of like
nowadays.
AI photos that you get that people are like, "Did you see this?" And you're like, "I don't need to see that because that's not real."
Right.
Right now, AI is like bad enough still that you can tell. But there are some like
Some
I've
good
definitely
ones.
seen some photos where I was like looking up like haircuts for girls and I was like, "Oh, this girl has really good hair." And then like upon further inspection, I'm like, "Oh, you are an AI model." There are AI models on Instagram that make like thousands of dollars already, which is wild.
You need to start one of those.
Yeah, that's easy money we're really leaving on the table.
Yeah. It's just like, when they say if your employer gives you a certain match on your 401k and you don't do that, it's just leaving money on the table. It's the same thing.
Yeah, we got to make a AI model ASAP.
With the name of like Mabel.
Yeah, let's go back to that.
Yeah.
Mabel Shakespeare.
Yes.
I love it. We're gonna get so famous. She will.
She will. Yeah.
We don't have to do anything. We can start all the rumors. She's the worst and the best.
Yes, she is.
I cannot wait.
She's a constant liar.
I have a new segment for you.
Okay.
It's called BT Dub.
BT Dub.
Yeah, ready?
Okay.
BT Dub. Did you know that the annual white party happened?
Oh, by the way, right?
Yes.
Okay, I was still trying to figure out what BT Dub meant. Okay.
By the way.
Uh-huh. The white party.
Right. So this is a party where like every celebrity ever goes. It's hosted by Michael Rubin, who owns Fanatics. So a lot of sports stars are there, celebrities in general, like anyone from Alex Earl, who's obviously famous by social media proxy, to like Kim Kardashian, Tom Brady. Genuinely, Tom Brady posted the craziest photo that was definitely not meant to be crazy, but it's him and Gayle King, who is Oprah's best friend and also on like Good Morning America, maybe. And in the background, I can see like Jake Paul. And to me, that is just, excuse my language, but it's like the weirdest mind fuck to see all these people in one photo. Like Jake Paul's definitely just accidentally in the background. The photo is 100% just supposed to be Tom Brady and Gayle King, who also don't feel like they belong together. That seems bizarre. Famous people love each other. Like they love to get together and wear all white and just be famous.
Wow. I don't know what that would feel like.
I don't think I would like it, to be honest. I think it would feel weird. Do you think they try to like out famous each other? Like, are they all just trying to be like, I'm the coolest? I think Mabel Shakespeare would belong here. We'll just have to figure out how to get her there.
Yeah, that would be tough. Maybe like some sort of hologram.
I don't know what we would do, but we would do it. She would at least get the invite and then maybe we show up and we could wear not white and just see how it goes.
Or she could do like oh, sorry, I couldn't make it tonight, like a little pre-recorded video. And then they play it.
Because she would be so famous that they would all want to watch her pre-recorded video. Or she could take like a stance and be like, I don't think it's right to have this many famous people in one area. Either way, it was ridiculous. It happened. But thoughts just on these kind of exuberant parties where basically the point is to be there and be famous. How do you feel?
Well, I didn't even know it was a thing, but maybe they should invite some regular people, make maybe 20, just normal people, and let them.
And they could let them wear black instead of white so that
that
famous people know.
That way they know. Oh,
yeah, don't like touch.
Yeah, stay away. Or maybe they have to like have one person wearing black clothes at each table, so they have to talk to normal people.
Yes, I like this.
And
it's like a layer of rule of like you have to have one.
It's sort of starting to come out to be like some scary movie.
It is giving like, what's the one where like rich people just like murder poor people? Like they get hunted. The Purge. It's giving Purge.
That one.
To be fair, most of the people in the photos from this party do look like they would hunt other people for sport.
So we're not far off.
I got a David the other day. He was tricky, but not fast enough.
Yeah. What's their
They
weapon?
suddenly pull mid-Atlantic accents. Like, I feel like everyone suddenly has a mid-Atlantic accent.
What's their weapon of choice in this hunt? Crossbow.
Yeah, that's actually exactly what I was gonna say. It just
It feels like a crossbow event.
It feels like a crossbow moment.
It does.
Perhaps a machete. That's just kind of a classic.
That's close range.
I don't think you should do guns. I don't think we can do guns.
No, I think
guns are for road rage. This is like personal
They have
harm.
their own criteria.
Keep your gun in your car like a normal person. Yeah. Obviously, gosh.
We're at a white party.
We're at a white party.
So.
I'm sorry with the idea that like bring your machete. This is a white party. Please be classy. God.
Right. In your crossbow. And they have to have like a safari hat. One person in each group has to have a safari hat.
I think that's just a bucket hat nowadays because it would have to be white.
Because they're the leader. They're like the safari leader.
So perhaps we have a handful of people in beige to like show that they are safari leaders. We have the black.
Maybe we should. I feel like we should go with different colors.
They can be in red.
Yeah.
They can be in red. Let's not. I shouldn't laugh, but it was about to be really bad. I'm glad I stopped myself. We have the people in red. Then that would be the normies.
Ooh, wait a minute. Maybe we should put them in green. That way they
camouflage
can blend
moment.
into the scenery.
Well, the problem is the scenery is a very like void of soul mansion. So I think we need them in beige as well.
Yeah, maybe they should be beige.
So red
for
leaders. The red leaders.
Yeah.
Beige hiders.
Yeah.
Normal people, and then fancy famous people in white.
But wait, why are we hunting the normal people though?
Because that is how the purge works.
Okay.
That's just unfortunate.
It's unfortunate that it's called the white party.
Well, they do wear white. It's not racist. There are, in fact, people of other races.
That's true.
It's not white party because only white people are invited. Let me go back to that since you have not heard. For anyone who doesn't know, the white party just means you are wearing all white. I think people genuinely get turned away if they try to not wear white. I think girls can wear sparkles as well, but like not silver. Like it would still have to be white sequined-ish, whatever.
Yeah.
No, people of all creeds, the girls, gays, theys, black, white, brown, and everything in between. I think they're all invited. You just have to wear white.
Yeah, it's
the way we were doing it was just about to sound awkward is all. And so now everyone's in red, no one's wearing black. Not because it's a bad color, but because it could potentially the way it sounded started to sound a little racist.
Yeah, but it wasn't. We were all just talking about clothes.
We were getting real close to a hate crime.
Yeah.
But we're actually just getting close to real crime. That's all.
Yeah.
Just murder.
Yeah.
Not hate crime, just murder.
Yeah, it's just another movie. And that's what they do in LA, right? They make movies.
Oh, I think this takes place on the East Coast.
Oh.
It's going to have some like musical flair to hit Broadway.
Okay. New York.
We're going to have to write a whole score for it.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot. We got in way over ahead. Maybe we just let the celebrities have the white party.
I think we just do the competition.
Yeah, we'll stick to our competition show in LA and they can have their white party in the Hamptons or whatever.
I think we could make it a weekly Netflix show with different celebrities
and one normal person for reference
in each episode, and with different events each episode. That would be really cool, actually.
I love it. I would watch it.
There was actually kind of a show like that. I think it was called Average Joe.
Oh, I remember this show.
Yeah, it was just a regular dude or an average Joe. At first, like a professional athlete, and they would.
It's what everybody says they want in the Olympics. As we approach the Olympics, there is always the need for the like reference point of like just a normal person out there. So we know how good we know you're great. How great are you?
Yeah. I always like it when they did the things where I think it was like kickers, like field goals. Like, oh, I could have made that. And then they go to those people.
Yeah.
Who like tweeted that they could have made it, and then they make them kick it, and it's terrible every time.
Right.
That's always fun. I think I could make a field goal. I used to.
You played soccer, right? Did
no.
You play soccer?
No.
Oh, you're just really into soccer.
Yeah. And I never played football. Well, I played like a pee-wee football.
Strikes. Yeah.
But we had to like.
So what gives you footwork?
No, we had to kick field goals in PE class.
That's such a random PE class lesson.
And I could do it.
Oh.
So I feel
Then
like
yeah, I
could,
believe in you.
maybe extra points.
I
maybe
played
not
soccer,
anything.
but I never had a coach that I think really worked on footwork with us. So I do not believe that I could kick a field goal. I think I would be negative field goal. But I think I should earn a point for just being realistic with myself and saying, no, I can't do this.
I think you could do it
I think
with
you're
a
wrong.
soccer ball.
Oh. No, I
No?
really don't think my coach was that great. I don't think I have the footwork skill. It's also been more than 10 decades. Like, well,
10 decades.
I played soccer.
You're the vampire all along.
I played soccer in a previous life. I meant to tell you that.
Oh, okay.
That's my beef with Ronaldo, actually. So
That's why. Makes sense.
But no, and it's been over 10 years. It's been a decade. So I don't.
He took your spot on the team.
He did. He did. He's just been. That's why he's so good now. He's played soccer for multiple lives.
Tens of decades.
Tens of decades.
Yeah.
My bad. Anyway, BT Dub, there was a white party. And that brings us to the end of another Dinner Party podcast. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.